Now, I want to give you the argument that changes how a miss feels prematurely if you actually take it in. You cannot learn from a hit. Sit with that because it sounds wrong and it is not. Suppose your reading had come true. Suppose the pattern held, the window closed, and you scored a hit. What would you know? You would know that something worked. You would not know what worked. You would not know whether it was the geometry or a lucky guess or a coincidence with a plausible face on it or the fact that you unconsciously arranged for it to be true. And you would have no way to find out because success is silent about its own causes. Worse, and this is the part people never think about. A hit is the most contaminating thing that can happen to a practitioner. It confirms everything you did, including the parts you did wrong. It confirms the sloppy disconfirmation you wrote. It confirms the vague thread you should have avoided. A hit rewards your errors alongside your competition indiscriminately, and it does it with such a pleasant feeling that you never go back and check. A miss is different in kind. A miss tells you exactly where the instrument bends. It says, this specific claim in this specific window does not hold. That is a precise piece of information arriving at a precise location, and you can act on it. So the miss in your notebook is not the cost of doing this honestly. It is the only entry that has ever taught you anything. You've been collecting descriptions for 12 days. Today, you got your first piece of knowledge, and it cost you a pattern you liked, which is exactly what knowledge costs. I told you something on day 8, and I suspect you filed it away as a nice line. Today, it comes due. A practitioner who has never logged a miss has never really logged anything. On day 8, that was an inspiration. It was a standard I set for you, and you had no way to meet because you had not yet made a claim strong enough to fail. As of today, it is a description of you. You have a miss in your notebook, which means, and I want you to follow the logic here rather than just receive the compliment, because the logic is what matters. It means your log contains at least one entry that was capable of being wrong, which means your log is not a portrait. It is a record, which means that everything else in it now carries weight it did not carry 2 days ago. Every entry that has not failed is now an entry that has not failed in a notebook where failure was genuinely possible. That is a completely different object from a notebook where everything is true because nothing was ever at risk. Your successes did not become more likely today. They became more meaningful because the thing that could have exposed them arrived and passed them by. That is what the miss bought you. It did not just cost you a pattern. It authenticated the rest of the book, Spatial Psy.D. Your drill. 1. Run the session and close it as always. Then review your map from 3 days back, day 10. 2. Score any dead threads as a miss. Blunt wording, dated, no defense, no softening, no in fairness. 3. Write one line, what this miss kills. 4. Write one line, what it leaves standing and still untested. Do this on paper, not in your head. Your head will tell you everything is ruined. The paper will not. 5. Then close the book and go to bed, and do not reread it tonight. The last instruction is a real one, and I want to defend it because it is the only place in this method where I ask you to stop thinking. If you sit with a fresh miss for 3 hours, turning it over, you will not learn anything further from it. You extracted the information already. It took 4 minutes and it is written down. Everything after that is not analysis. It is rumination. And rumination is where the miss stops, being a data point about a thread, and starts becoming a story about you. The entry is safe on the page. It will still be there tomorrow, and it will be worth exactly the same amount, and you will read it in a much better condition. Close the book. And then, and this is the whole of it, sit down again tomorrow. Nothing else is required of you. The practice is not repaired by insight or by resolve. It is repaired by the next session and by nothing else. Let me close with a sentence from the book, because you can hear it properly now in a way you could not in day one. Some entries will score as misses. Some threads will die in their windows. That is not the method failing. That is the method working, separating what your body actually receives from what your mind is eager to supply. Look at what that sentence is claiming. It is not saying the misses are an acceptable cost. It is saying the misses are the separation itself. They are the moment where the two streams, the received and the supplied, are finally pulled apart from one another. You could not have done that separation by introspection. You cannot feel the difference from the inside. We established that on day 8, and it has not stopped being true. The only thing that has ever been able to perform that separation is a claim, put at risk, in a window, and allowed to fail. Today, one of yours failed. The separation occurred. The method did the one thing it exists to do, and it did it to you, and it did not care that you were hoping for the other result. That is what an honest instrument feels like when you are standing on the wrong side of it. Score it. Note what it kills and what it leaves. Close the book. Sit down tomorrow. You're not asked to believe. You're asked to record, including and especially on the days when what you have to record is that you were wrong. Today, we slow down and do something concrete. A worked example. One full session, start to finish. All 5 steps, all 3 signals, narrated as it happens so you can see the whole thing running at once. That's tomorrow. I will see you on day 14. I'm Dr. Rivka Edery, author of Spatial, Psy.D, and I really hope you'll join us. Thank you. Bye-bye now.